Welcome to the Church Answers podcast. My name is Jess Rayner. I'm here with my dad, Thom Rayner, and I would say it's a special treat today, but that would be a little bit of a lie. So just go ahead and prepare our listeners for what's getting ready to happen.
It's painful, man.
You're going to be joined with another Rayner on this podcast. It's the middle son, the one that's always lost, trying to find him. Art.
Where's Art?
Where's right here.
Listen, Art, I will say this about my big brother. He's always been cool. And that's one thing. Mr. GQ, homecoming king twice.
High school and university.
High school and college. And if you're watching this podcast, if you're watching us, he's cool too. He's got a cool big microphone with his headset. I love it. I've tried to emulate his coolness. It's never worked. I did enough just to get married. Art. I emulated that just to get married, but my wife quickly saw beyond the facade, but she stayed with me. So welcome, the cooler.
Thank you.
Rayner
Thank
here.
you. And it is old school. The mic, the headset. I've had it for a long time, but it works. That's the thing.
Make it look cool.
I'm a stewardship guy. If it's working, I'm gonna keep it. Like I'm gonna keep going.
I have seen your car. You are the stewardship guy.
That thing's still running.
The only person who surpasses you is Chuck Lawless.
That's amazing. For those of you all who do not know, Dr. Chuck Lawless's car is I want to say a 1974 Buick. It's not 1974, but it's 1990s, I think. Buick. Oh man, I don't even know what it is.
I can't tell what
Maybe it's a Mercury. I think it's a Mercury because they don't make the brand anymore. I think it's a Mercury.
I think it's indistinct. I thought it was an Edsel, Ford Edsel.
Well, we are going to be talking about how to manage money today on the podcast, and so one thing that Art does have, he has a little bit of the Midas touch. He also has the cool touch, and so this podcast is going to have a little bit of both today. Before we jump in, before we talk about stewardship in the local church, Art's going to be sharing some really cool resources and dropping some of his cool wisdom that he has on us today in the podcast.
I feel really
before
cool.
we jump into it, we want to thank one of our sponsors, and it is Wesley Biblical Seminary. They are focused on developing trusted leaders for faithful churches. And if you are looking to grow in biblical education, we encourage you to check them out at wbs.edu, anywhere from a certificate all the way up to a doctoral degree. They are fully committed to the inerrancy of Scripture and to the transforming power of the Holy Spirit. They also have this really cool online flexible format. So don't if you're thinking, I don't have time, well, go check them out. Go to wbs.edu, and you'll be surprised about their online flexible format that fits your schedule. Thank you to them and sponsoring this podcast.
This is not part of their copy, but I will say I'll give the 3 A's for them. They are accessible. You can go anywhere and learn at any time. It is attainable. These degrees can be done in a very quick time without losing quality. And for the sake of Art Rayner, they're affordable, highly affordable. So they check off all 3 A's. So anyway, Jess, I'll let you talk to your brother for just a moment.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you have to.
I'm here.
Hey, Art, we're glad you're here. And if you're not familiar with Art, which I'm sure you are, because most people are, just because of the cool factor alone, what he's doing over at Christian Money Solutions is really, really awesome. And all the resources he's been providing, in particular his heart just for the local church. I know Art and I have many conversations about generosity and stewardship in the local church. He's often asking me questions, and love having him and that dialogue. Art, so tell us a little bit about just this new initiative, that you're going to be launching. Talking a little bit about stewardship in local church. Give us just kind of that entree into what you do and why you're here today.
Yeah, so Christian Money Solutions exists to help people discover and pursue God's design for money. So that's the heartbeat behind what we do, and we do that in a variety of different ways. One of the ways is simply providing content and curriculum for the local church. We want to help church members understand that God has a plan and a purpose for their finances. And we know, of course, the people sitting in our churches right now are financially stressed. They're living
Mhm.
paycheck to paycheck. They're loaded down with debt, and they're looking for answers. They're looking for a solution to their problem. And unfortunately, many, if not most, of our church members are going to go to social media and get some bad advice from TikTok or Twitter, or it's X now, or they may reach out to a friend or a family member that may or may not point them in a biblical direction. And so Christian Money Solutions comes in to kind of lock arms with the local church to help them resource, equip, and get their church members financially healthy, but for something far greater than financial health. I want to be very clear about that. We are not just wanting people to get out of debt, although we want that. We are not just trying to get people to save for the future, although that's a good and biblical thing to do. We want people to do these things because when they do, it allows that person, that church member, to more freely live and give more generously. And as we look at the Bible, that's the starting point, right? God has entrusted us with resources for the advancement of his kingdom. So we want to see more people doing that. Now, you asked about this new initiative that we have. Man, I am really, really excited about it. So about a year ago, we launched what was called the is called the 8 Money Milestones program. And it's a 6-week video-based program that helps people learn how to get out of debt, how to reduce financial stress, and how to live and give more generously. I'm actually leading an 8 Money Milestones group live at my church right now, which is it's just a ton of fun. It's so much fun to lead these groups.
Do they know how cool you are?
I'm going to share this podcast with them because now my ego has been inflated. I feel a lot better about myself. I'm glad that I came on to this. I needed this episode today. And so we launched this program, and it has been adopted by churches across the nation. I mean, literally from Florida all the way over to Alaska, to California, to New York. We have people in churches adopting this program. And with this program, they learn some basic steps that they need to take in their finances. They learn how to get out of debt. They learn how to build a budget. They learn how to save for the future. But it's all done through the lens of generosity. We dive into the Bible. We look at the starting point, which is generosity. And we say, okay, this is our priority. That means everything else that we do is meant to either accelerate or protect our ability to live and give more generously. And so that's what the 8 Money Milestones group program does. And it works wonderfully for small groups. So we've launched that. And then you may be familiar with a book that I released a little while ago called The Money Challenge. And it's 30 days of discovering God's design for you and your money. Well, this past summer, I had the opportunity to update that book and to make sure all of the numbers that are in there update the story a little bit that's in there. And so what we've done for churches that are looking for a stewardship solution, if you're sitting there as a pastor and asking the question, where do I even get started with helping my people understand stewardship, helping to build a culture of generosity in their church, this is a great first step. So we've taken those two resources and we've bundled them together. So here's what you get. Okay, so you get an 8 Money Milestones leader guide. You get 10 8 Money Milestones participants accounts. You get 10 Money Challenge books, all for $397, which is a $100 savings for the churches. And so we are thrilled to be able to put that bundle together and to offer it to the local churches.
I want to interrupt.
Yes.
Just for clarity, because we offer a lot of digital resources, and I know that you communicate digitally through that, but these are physical books for the participants.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the program is video-based, right? The program is video-based. So you get the videos. However, they get a physical workbook with their account. So if you get the bundle, you're actually going to get 11 total 8 Money Milestones workbooks. You get one for the leader and then 10 for the participants. Then you also get 10 physical copies of the money challenge. So all of those are physical resources that you get to share with your church members.
And one thing we talk about quite often on Church Answers podcasts are it's data points. I don't want to get too much boring into statistics, but we'll use a number that we call weekly per capita giving, which is just simply this: how much does each attendee give every Sunday that they're attending, from age 0 up to the oldest person? And when somebody goes through your program, here's what happens. You can't guarantee it, but it is going to happen. When someone goes through your program, weekly per capita giving goes up. And so you increase your giving, even if you don't increase your attendance.
So we start with generosity. So if you're familiar with the 8 money milestones, money milestone 1 is to start giving. In that first session, we're diving into what the Bible says about generosity, and we challenge participants to take that first step. In fact, we tell them, if you want to be financially healthy from a biblical standpoint, then you got to have this. You have to give. This is going to be your starting point. And so we challenge them to take that first step. And what's been fun is to watch people take that step. I just received an email yesterday from somebody who's going through my group. So I'm teaching it live. Obviously, I can't teach all the groups live, but he reached out to me, and I'll just call him Jay. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know something. We have started giving. We have saved $1,500 now for a minor emergency," which, by the way, is money milestone 2. We have knocked out 5 small credit cards. So they're working on money milestone 4, which is to pay off all of your debt except for your mortgage. He says, "I just want to let you know that within a 3-week period of time, we have taken these steps," which is incredible. Wow. And I'm telling you, it's that first step that gets me the most fired up. I had 2 people after my first session in my 8 Money Milestones group. When I asked them at the beginning, "Hey, what has God done in your finances? Can you tell a few stories?" 2 of them said, "We have started giving for the very first time. I came here. I was a part of this group, hadn't started giving. We gave our first gift to the church." And that is incredible. I love watching God. It's not an Art Rainer thing. It's them looking at scripture and saying, this is what the Bible teaches. Let's align our finances with that and lean into him more than we ever have before.
You know, I think I know who Jay is.
You think you know who Jay is?
He's married to Kay. They're very close.
And there's the dad
awful
joke. I guess when you have bad. 2 sons on the podcast, the dad jokes start flying.
Jay and Kay.
To our listeners, I apologize for that one. Art, as I'm thinking about this, my brain's already going to 2026. I want to come back to you in just a minute and thinking about 2026. But before we do that, we want to take a minute and thank one of our other sponsors for this podcast. They are wanting to help you think about 2026 as well. If you're listening to this podcast, this is coming out at the end of mid-November 2025. At the time that this is released. And what Upward Sports wants to do is they want to help you start preparing for 2026 now. They believe that sports bring people together, and they do. And they have a ton of different sports that they offer, anywhere from basketball, soccer, flag football, cheerleading, volleyball, pickleball, which is one of your favorites, Dad. Running for adults. Art, I know we're running. We're training for a full marathon, you and I. And so
I think you're training more than I am.
I don't. Well, maybe I'm getting there.
You are.
I'm getting there. And what Upward Sports wants to do with your church, if you're listening to this as a church leader, they want to help you prepare for 2026. So go to upward.org/church answers, upward.org/church answers, and see what they can do for you and help you plan out 2026 through sports and reaching your community. They do an amazing job of helping you reach your community. Now, Art, back to you. I'm listening to this, and as a local church pastor, I'm thinking, man, kicking off 2026 would be a great way. Kicking off this with 2026 would be a great start for 2 reasons. One, I love the generosity side of it and helping people understand stewardship and what it means to be a manager of the resources God has given them. But I also see this as a potential outreach. There are a ton of people out there that want to know how to manage their finances. And so I could see this being used both for people within the church, but also maybe a group that is designed to reach the community. Have you seen that dual use with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are at our church, as I mentioned, I'm teaching an 8 Money Milestones class now. I taught one in the spring, and now we are going back and teaching another one in spring of or early winter of 2026. And what we have found is that the end of January is the perfect time to launch an 8 Money Milestones group. And so if you're looking and or considering the 8 Money Milestones program, last week in January is perfect because, as you know, we get to the new year. Everybody does what? They make their New Year's resolutions. Maybe they want to lose weight. Maybe they want to get their finances in order, and they are motivated. They're ready to do something about it. So my encouragement is to lean into that and offer some type of stewardship / financial health program. Of course, I'd recommend the 8 Money Milestones program to capture that moment. And so that's what we're doing. We're looking at the last week in January. We'll launch another 8 Money Milestones group. We'll actually come back in the fall and do another one. So we try to do 2 per year, at least 2 per year, because we found that those are some just ideal times when you can get people to the class, when people inside and outside of the church are looking for answers. They have the motivation. They're thinking about it. They're looking for answers. Why not the local church? Why shouldn't the local church provide the solutions? Because they're in the Bible, right? All of the answers are in the Bible. Why not teach them?
Hey, Art, all three of us are authors. I know you're an author, but we are all authors. I know that you're going to be bringing out some books that are being revised and renewed. I do want to hear about those. I don't know if it's the best time for now, but you mentioned some of them. But in a previous podcast that Jess and I recently did, Jess discovered something about my books he never knew.
What was that?
Jess?
He has Easter eggs in his books.
Easter eggs?
Yeah. There are Beatle song references all throughout his books.
No way.
And I have never said anything until, well, now, obviously, because my editor at Tyndale, a new editor, discovered one.
No.
And as she's editing it, she said, "Oh,
how
the
many
Beatles."
books that have those Easter eggs in there?
It's not my co-authored books, and it's not all of my solo books, but I'm going to say 20, 25 of them.
Hey, do you want to know something about the books that I've written? Maybe you know this.
I do.
With the fictional elements, how they are, it's all one universe. It's kind of like Marvel, right?
Oh, gosh.
It's all one. If it's all of them are connected, there's all these little connecting points to every fictional story that you find in the Money Challenge, the Marriage Challenge, the Money Challenge for Teens, the Secret Slide Money Club series. All of those take place in one universe. How about that?
Wow. And
see this.
my
If you're listening to this podcast, see why he's so cool?
They're all
Don't you see
connected. The
this?
Easter eggs are in there. You can figure, like, there's characters that are, you'll find one over here and another in another book. So if you're a parent and you're going through the Money Challenge, you got this bundle from your church, you can have your teenager read the Money Challenge for Teens, and there will be overlapping characters in those stories that you all can discuss.
Man, that's reason enough to start a 8 Money Milestone group at your church if you're listening to this podcast. Just because it's a universe. It's a whole universe. Who knew?
Well, we're gonna have Art
seamless
come
universe.
back in the same podcast. Not in the same podcast. We release 2 in a week, and so we're going to have Art come back for the second of the 2. We're going to talk about financial counseling. We're going to talk about what it looks like to have financial counselors in the church and what's happening with Art's program. So we want to hear about that as well. But before we go, Art, remind our viewers and our listeners of this bundle that you're doing one more time, and we'll put the link to it.
Yeah, once again, you can save $100 by purchasing this bundle. You get one 8 Money Milestones leader account that includes a workbook. There's a ton of promotional resources in there. I mean, everything that you need to launch an 8 Money Milestones group is found in that leader packet. Right? We got emails, we have slides, everything that you need is found in there. You also get 10 8 Money Milestones participant accounts and the workbooks. Again, those are physical workbooks. So you now have everything that you need for a group of 10, plus we're going to throw in 10 money challenge books that you can give to them as a gift so that they can continue the journey even after the 8 Money Milestones program comes to an end. That price is $397 for everything. Again, that's a savings of $100, and I'm so excited about it.
Question for you, Art. Those videos, are they watching you?
They are watching me, yes.
Okay. If someone was on the fence about if they were going to jump
I know
in,
you.
that's your reason right there. You get to see how cool Art Rayner is. It is worth every penny of that bundle.
I feel so much better about myself. Let's do like 10 more of these.
Absolutely incredible. So you're going to be looking at both a high school and a college homecoming king. Okay, that's what you get. Yeah, generosity, stewardship, all that stuff.
I may
you got to look at how cool Art Rayner is.
I may I'm gonna just jump in on some of these interviews in the future just so I can get my ego built up. Let's
go. Here we go. Well, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. It's always great. Maybe you're like 3 Rayners is too much for me. Maybe so. Maybe it's too much for me too. But we're glad you joined us today, and thank you so much for listening. Before we head out, we want to thank Wesley Biblical Seminary one more time as one of the sponsors for this podcast. As I mentioned, they are a flexible online format that helps you reach your goals in your biblical education. And so if you've been thinking about, man, I really love to get a master's, maybe I want to get an undergraduate certificate, doctoral degree, I don't know if I have the time, go check out Wesley Biblical Seminary. Their website is wbs.edu, wbs.edu. They have a range of programs to help you take the next step. They believe you can do it, and they want to help you. So go to them, check them out. Since 1974, WBS has been faithfully fulfilling its mission, and they're focused on developing trusted leaders for faithful churches. Thank you again, as always, to our listeners for joining us. We hope that these podcasts continue to help you learn and grow as we continue to ask those questions and provide those answers here on the Church Answers podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.